Thank you, sir. Thanks everyone for having me over. Now, sir's put a lot of pressure on me. This is going to be an advisory role that I'm playing now, so I better get it straight. So, when we talk about what advice or what path that Madhya Pradesh can follow, I think there is one thing that I want to set the stage on. I don't think it's about Make in India or Make in Madhya Pradesh, but what I really think is we should be looking at Make it in Bhopal, because that's one of the reasons why we are gathered here. And there is a lot of advantage that Bhopal has, being in one of the largest states and strategically located in the country as well. An analogy that I'd like to draw is with the city of Minneapolis. It's a city in the state of Minnesota in the US. And when we talk about city of lakes, Bhopal, Minneapolis and other cities are always spoken about even at the global level. Now, when we do a comparison with what we have in terms of manufacturing in Bhopal and what we have in Minneapolis, there are about 18 or 19 Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in Minneapolis, which is about 4 or 5% of the Fortune 500 companies. Madhya Pradesh and Bhopal traditionally have had a big advantage. We've had BHEL and a lot of other strategic national installations that have set base here. But I don't think we have capitalized that and kept the momentum going. There's been a lot of effort in the last few years with the investment promotions and other activities that have happened. But I think there is still a lot of opportunity that there exists in in the state as well as in the city. Some things, when we talk about a single window clearance, it should truly be a single window clearance. What we have seen is, whether it's India and even in the Western world, I've lived in the US for about 15 years. My wife and I have had a consulting firm. Even there, when you want to really set up a business and start doing work, that single window is never a true single window. You enter the window and then you find a whole bunch of other windows, and then you try to figure out which is the right window and how do we navigate, right? So I think sir has said that there's a significant first step. I mean, you've made those 85 licenses available. We're helping with another state where just to set up a warehouse, it takes about close to 175 days, goes through 130 different licenses and checks. When we were doing the study, we found half of that nobody knows why that's even needed. So if there are opportunities for us to get rid of some of the licenses, if it doesn't make sense in some industry or for certain types of activities, I think we should also look at getting rid of some of them, right? Now, when we talk about Bhopal, some of the other advantages I see is when we talk about Make in India and Make in Madhya Pradesh and Make in Bhopal, we are in a pretty large state. There's a lot of consumption that can happen here. When we talk about Minneapolis, there are a couple of large companies that we hear about, Best Buy and Target. They're Fortune 500 companies, but all of the consumption happens mostly within the United States. So from the location advantage we have, we could be incentivizing manufacturing from global or Indian companies for consumption within India. We can help bring the cost down because we are centrally located, so it's equal access to most parts of the country. There are other advantages in being here, apart from all the incentives that the government is giving. So we should be looking at promoting those kind of activities as well. Then the last advice I have is local entrepreneurs, right? So when we talk about smart cities, some of the things that we will see is a significant consumption of sensors, optical fiber cable, other forms of hardware. So if we can incentivize some of our local players here to set up, shop, they can not only supply to other parts of the country, but also for the Smart Bhopal initiatives. Now what happens is you have a lot of MNCs coming in, they will sell their equipment, All of them will have end of life, 3 to 5 years, you're investing more money in upgrading or maintaining those equipment. And sometimes these companies don't see a lot of value in staying back, so they might just leave the city, state, or even the country. But when you have a local entrepreneur, he's more vested in the community, because he's one of us. He's here, he can't easily run away. There's a lot at stake. So I think providing an opportunity for local entrepreneurs is also something I would encourage the state and city to look at. So with that,